Hey guys, Ashley Bowden here for the Buzz in studio with actress Alli Brown, who plays Paige on BET's hit show Sistas. Hey Alli, welcome.
Hi, thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, I'm so excited to have you here. I have to get into it for those who don't know.
Yes.
Tell us about your character on the show.
Okay, so Paige, God bless her, she is a white woman, meaning I think Paige is, if you're looking at it glass half full, she thinks she gets it.
Okay.
And she quickly realizes she doesn't. She's type A, very competitive with Sabrina, played by the lovely Novi Brown. And I'm in my second season that airs this Wednesday. And I can't reveal too much, but I will say that first season, you got a lot of this, and in second season, you're still gonna have all that with a lot more peppered in. So, yeah. She's a colleague at Brookhaven Bank and Trust of Sabrina's.
Yeah, and speaking of her personality type, she came in hot.
Hot, honey. Hot.
Yeah, she came in giving Sabrina so many problems, so many issues. Yeah, it was wild. How do you think the audience's perception and how do you think the audience received you? Because you brought the contention.
So it's so funny that you said that, because when Novi and I were working on stuff like pre-season prep for season 8, she mentioned Twitter, and I don't have Twitter. And she's like, yeah, so the fans, they have a lot of opinions on Paige. I was like, no way. And she's like, yeah, aren't you on Twitter? And I was like, no. And she's like, might be a good thing that you're not.
Yeah, yes.
But so I think the fans receive her exactly as written, which it is tracks. They receive her how she's supposed to be received. But I'm hoping that this season there will be some other sides shown, and people will be like, okay, we see you, but we're still watching you. You know?
And I think this, just me vibing with you here in studio, I think this really speaks to your acting talent and ability, because you have such a warm and friendly, engaging personality, and Paige is intense, but in a different way.
Yeah.
So how did this character, I guess, stretch you as an actress? How much of Paige relates to Alli?
Yeah. I mean, to be perfectly honest, some of the things that she says it's very difficult in terms of being a white woman working for Black women in a bank. And I certainly was nervous to say certain things. So I think the stretching came from how do I ground this? And so much of, I was so fortunate truly to work with Novi, because I could have those really candid conversations with her. And she is such a phenomenal actor, and also, as you know, wonderful person. So we were able to talk about the technical side of all that, and then also the emotional side. And then she is so gracious, and on set, everything was great. So I think it definitely did stretch me, because it was I don't know, I mean, look, I'll take a job selling this candle.
Yeah.
I'll do great. But I hadn't really had a character like that ever before. So there were nerves, and I think there were some, just nerves. And I was very grateful for those pre-work FaceTimes with Novi, especially because we were able to talk all that through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And more to that. Two-part question. Want to know, how was it for you coming into a cast of, it's an all Black cast for the most part?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And I'm sure that was a different dynamic for you.
Yeah.
How was it for you? And give us the play-by-play on how you got casted as Paige.
So the story of getting cast was pretty funny. I got the breakdown from my manager and my agent, and it was one line. And the line was, I still remember, it was, Sabrina, friendly reminder, no personal phone calls at work. That was it. That was the single line. So when I got that, and then of course they gave a quick character description of her being
which you just nailed that, by the way.
Thank you so much. Thank you. She's like, you're cast.
You're cast.
But so that, and also with, as I'm sure you know as well, with super successful shows with a lot of storylines, they won't, I didn't get to read the full script from a privacy standpoint. You know, when they're sending out the auditions, they don't really give the entire episode, because God forbid it gets, leaked or whatever.
Right.
So I didn't really have a lot to go off of. So I watched 2 episodes. I watched the pilot, so season 1, episode 1. And then I think I watched the final episode of season 6, just to get a tone of the show. And then I put it on tape, and I did one version where she was kind of nervous, and then one version where she was really, can I say bitchy?
Yeah.
She was really bitchy. And then another where it was like a little more blended and a little truer to like what Paige actually is.
Okay.
And I thought it was going to be like one episode, one scene. And then when I got the call and I was cast, I was just so excited. Like I was like, oh my God, great, I'm on this fun show. And then prior to going to Atlanta, at the time I was living in New York, the producer, Marky Swinton, he has a Zoom call with all of the cast for that upcoming season. And that's when it was revealed like, oh my God, I'm gonna be in multiple episodes and multiple scenes. And so I think like it kind of felt like I was getting a job every time I had more information, because I was like, oh my God, I'm not just in one scene, I'm in several. Oh my God, I'm not just in one episode, I'm in several. Like, then there were so many funny moments and serious moments. So the perks just kind of kept on coming. You know what I mean?
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What was the vibe like on set, or what was the atmosphere like? Any fun moments?
Oh my gosh.
Moments that stood out to you? You
Yes.
can share with us?
It moves so fast.
Okay.
They are, and it is such I would say I've been fortunate enough to work on a handful of sets and a handful of TV shows. And I think working on a Tyler Perry show, I've only worked on Sistas, but the vibe very much so is like, Tyler Perry is one of the most successful people in our industry. And you get to his set and it is run like a professional family. And I only mean that as a compliment. Like I met several of the people there are like, oh yeah, I've been working with like TPS for 10 years. This is my like 9th show with them.
Wow.
And to me, that is such a testament to people wanting to keep going back. Atlanta is a thriving city. There are jobs everywhere. These people are professional and very good at what they do. So for them to continue to choose that, I think speaks volumes. And then also like, it moves really fast. And if you're not like present and just like I really look to, I'm obsessed with Novi Brown. I really look to her because she's so professional and positive.
She is.
And really like she does a very good job of sort of like setting a standard for me as an actor of like how you show up on set. And I got a lot out of like watching her, and that was really great because that's not always the case when you work,
Yeah, no, that's it sounds like a great experience. And we've had Novi in studio.
Oh,
and
yes.
Yeah, she's a dream. Yeah, she was really, really fun. Wanted to ask you how do you think that Sistas, because I feel like this show really tackles a lot of social issues.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think the audience gets from a lot of the social issues and topics that this show tackles?
I think that's a really good question because there, certainly in the States, if the audience is like predominantly Black, I think that that people are watching that and seeing themselves. And I wish that more people would watch it because I think it would give, like more people like me would watch it because I think it would give them a lot of perspective of like, damn, like this girl's like microaggression and how that makes people feel at work, you know? So I'm sure like people watch the show and they're like, yeah, this bitch Paige, like I've got 5 of them at work. And I guess I'm wishing that more bitches like Paige would watch this show.
Yeah.
To like just have, and also, I mean, that's the more serious side and the social issue. There is one character who's been around for forever, but he's in I can't give away too much, but
I know. Well, I'm gonna ask for some tea. I want you to spill some
off
tea.
camera. Okay. We will chat. But he does a very good job, I think, of calling people out while calling them in using humor. And I think we can all relate to that.
Yes.
How many times do you have a difficult conversation with someone, and speak from an honest place while also sprinkling in humor because it like diffuses things and it keeps people calm. And, I think it's like you can affect change better that way.
Yeah.
Or even just have like a hard conversation with a little levity,
Yeah. Well, I know you're limited on what you can say about where the season is going and where your character is going, but where would you like to see your character go, Paige, develop into?
The writers did wonderfully last season as well, but this season there is, dare I say, like a turning of the corner.
Okay.
Not fully, because she's a slow and steady learner, but there are some hintings at just like other friendships that she's building at work. And that to me is like very exciting, that the potential new friendship. And then even like her and Sabrina connecting as women of a certain age. And that to me was really those are some really beautiful moments from the season, at least for me, from my experience. Yeah.
What have you learned most about, or what have you learned most being on set?
On the Sistas set,
and on the show, just all together, the entire experience.
Yeah, be memorized. Truly, like truly, because then you can play like so much more, and really be polite. Even just like, I think it's more of the non-acting stuff, like you know, like don't be afraid to, especially because too the show is so big, they have so many people coming in and out, like don't be afraid to re-ask someone's name 3 times, like they don't take it personally. It's so much better than not knowing, you know.
Yes.
And honestly, like the outfits on the show are fantastic. I love, like, especially what Sabrina gets to wear, and I love the wardrobe team is incredible, and hearing them talk about character while dressing, it's so interesting to me. Like, you know, as Paige progressed in this season and she like loosened up a little, I'm not giving too much away, like her outfits became cooler, and like that was cool to see. So I think like learning that like it's not just the acting, it's a whole thing, and like it's such a nothing. You can be a really great actor, but if you don't have a team of people around you thinking about makeup or hair, or how would Sabrina wear her hair before a difficult conversation? How would Paige wear her hair when she was getting, this hasn't happened, but like when she was getting fired or whatever, you know, just things like that. That was very cool to witness, I think. So I think I've learned it's a whole thing.
It's a whole
ecosystem.
Yeah, exactly. It's an operation. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is next for you in the acting space professionally? What can we expect?
Yeah. So I sort of took the leap this year, and I wrote a short film that we shot in New York City in July. So that is picture locked, and we're starting to submit to festivals. Ooh. So I'm hoping that what will be next for me is like a very robust and fun film fest season in 2025.
Okay.
And I mean, I feel like I had to put my imposter syndrome down a little bit and just be like, you know what, let's just do it. And if it's bad, then it'll be bad. And the good news is it's not bad. But it was really exciting. And auditioning. I also perform stand-up, so I don't currently have any shows coming up.
I can see that, yeah.
So just trying to get into the mix in LA, and definitely the next thing that's coming up is Sistas season 8. So that's, you know, that's on the horizon.
That's awesome. We're looking forward to it.
Thank you.
And I know just in your personal life, I know you recently just moved to LA.
Yeah.
How's that transition been for you?
You know what? It's going really well. I would say it was a tough first year, truly just getting used. LA is ginormous. Famously, I don't know if you guys know this, LA is really big. And getting used to car culture, it was hard coming from New York where it's like the subways.
Yes.
But I feel like that now I'm like an LA person. I'm talking about parking. I'm talking about the city's so big. Like I'm so California.
Yeah, you're checking traffic
exactly.
and all of that. And you're probably a little frustrated behind the wheel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or I'm just like, damn, I have been in the car for 40 minutes and I've gone 2 miles.
Exactly.
Feels like I could have walked here.
All day in LA. Yes, that is the vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we can expect to see you in indie films that you're producing,
fingers crossed.
writing.
Yes.
And do you want to go into directing as well? Is that something that you're interested in?
I think I would love to try it, but I have to say I've been so fortunate to work with like specifically the director and producer of my short film. It's called Nuke. The premise is a stand-up comedian finally gets her big break on the same day that a nuclear missile is allegedly headed for New York City.
Okay.
So there's, you know, it's funny, it's dramatic, and my producer, Ellie Shanahan, and director, Kelsey Bauman-Murphy, they are so good at what they do that there's a part of me where it's like, oh, well, if my base standard is not them on their worst day, like why would I even try like producing or directing? But I'm definitely inspired by watching. I mean, it's like with anything. You watch.
And you have to start somewhere.
You have to start somewhere,
right?
And that's sort of something that Kelsey says, where she's like, if you want to do it, like that's enough of a reason. So it's sort of figuring out, like, do I want to? But we'll see.
Yeah, and look how far you've gotten so far.
Thank you.
With acting. It was a decision,
Exactly.
right?
Yes, 100%.
All right. Well, thank you for sitting down.
Oh my
and
gosh, of
chatting
course.
with
Thank you
us.
so much for having me.
Yeah, this has been fun. Let everybody know where they can find you.
Yes, please follow me at Hey It's Me, Alli Brown, on Instagram. And as I said before, I don't have Twitter, but like maybe I'll get it, but I probably won't. It feels like an intense spot, you know.
I love the honesty. Thanks, Alli. It was fun
Thank you
chatting
so
with you.
much,
Thank
Ashley.
you.
Bye guys. Hi, my name is Alli Brown and you've just been buzzed.